Imagine waking up before sunrise, your bedding still damp with dew. The chill of the morning creeps into your bones as you rise, careful not to wake the others. You are part of a wagon train moving west toward Oregon. You are hundreds of miles from anything familiar. The grass beneath your feet is thick with prairie mist, and your breath fogs in the morning air. There is no time to linger. It's breakfast as hard biscuits, perhaps coffee if you're lucky. A fire, started the night before, is rekindled with a few embers and dried buffalo chips. Around you, others are stirring, children still half asleep, oxen being hitched, wagons being loaded. Okay. Everything is covered in a layer of dust, fine and unrelenting. Okay. As the sun climbs higher, the train moves out. The sound of wooden wheels creaking and iron rims groaning becomes a lull in the background. The land rolls slowly, mile after mile. Some walk, most do. The wagons are too full, too precious to carry many people. Your boots wear thin, your muscles ache. And always, the wind. Water is a constant concern. Streams and rivers bring life and risk. When you find one, there's a careful dance to cross it. Wheels need greasing. Ropes are tested. Sometimes you must ferry your things across, trip by trip. And when the water is too fast, too deep, you wait or you turn. Nights are the only time for rest, but sleep is not always easy. Coyotes call, bugs crawl, and the sheer openness can be unsettling. Still, you are surrounded by other strangers who become family through hardship. You share food, you share stories, okay? And you share the dream of Oregon. Segment 2, Biography, Event. The tragedy of the Donner Party, though not all pioneers met the same fate. The most infamous wagon journey west was that of the Donner Party. In 1846, 87 travelers set out for California. They were delayed by poor decisions, bad advice, and the harsh reality of mountain weather. They followed a supposed shortcut, the Hastings Cutoff, that proved treacherous and cost them valuable time. Snow trapped them in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Supplies ran out. Hope dwindled. With desperation, some turned to cannibalism. By the time help arrived, months later, only 48 had survived. This event shocked the country. It reminded many of the real dangers of the trail beyond romanticized notions. It wasn't just about grit, it was about survival. Still, the Donners were not alone in their suffering. Others faced illness, starvation, injury, or accidents. The trail was no gentle adventure, but it was a path walked by thousands, each with their own reasons. Segment 3, Mystery, Archaeology Culture, Ruts in the Earth and Ghosts of the Trail long after the wagons passed. They left behind traces, deep wagon ruts carved into stone in places like Guernsey, Wyoming. It remained today a silent record of human movement. Travelers sometimes buried loved ones along the path in unmarked graves under the wagon trail itself, to keep animals from disturbing them. Their stories are silent, their names mostly lost. Campsites, hearthstones, and rusted metal tell of evening routines. A Dutch oven buried in the soil. A child's toy carved from wood. Archaeologists still find remnants, mapping the lives of those who never recorded their own. The culture of the trail was one of adaptation. People of diverse backgrounds traveled together, farmers from Ohio, German immigrants, freed slaves. They borrowed cooking techniques from Native Americans, learned how to mend axles, and how to tell if the clouds meant hail or just shadow. Even the songs sung around the fire left echoes. Oh, Susanna and Sweet Betsy from Pike were born of this wandering spirit. Songs of dust and hope. Segment 4, Social, Elite, Contrasting Daily Life. Letters home and what they left behind back east. Life moved on. Cities grew. Railroads spread. Yet those who chose the trail gave up comfort, family, and sometimes everything. Letters sent home tale of wonder and hardship. A young woman writes to her sister about prairie fires and buffalo herds. A father sends a note describing a child's birth along the trail. Okay, these glimpses into emotion add dimension to the data. Not everyone on the trail was poor. Some were merchants, ministers, teachers. Yet out here, social status faded. A lawyer might be patching a wagon wheel. A banker might be herding oxen. The trail was an equalizer, brutal and binding. When they reached Oregon, if they reached it, life did not slow down. Land had to be cleared. Homes built, winters endured. Yet still, it was a life chosen. And for many, it was worth it. So tonight, as you fall asleep, imagine the sound of hooves in tall grass, the flicker of a campfire beyond the horizon, and a distant murmur of lullabies sung under endless skies. Good night from the trail.